Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, March 14th through Sunday, March 20th. So there are only three major aspects this week, and the first one is on Thursday, March 17th, when we have Mercury in Pisces sextiles Uranus in Taurus. On Friday, March 18th, we have Sun in Pisces sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. And on Saturday, March 19th, we have Venus in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus. And on Sunday, the 20th, the Sun moves into Aries at 15:33, which is, I believe, 3:30 in the afternoon. 3:33 in the afternoon. Wow, triple threes. Could mean something. Anyways, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my subscribers for their continued support, for liking and sharing this video, and donations that you've made to my channel. Every time you do something, even just interact with me in any way whatsoever, especially if you comment too. I really appreciate your comments. It helps my channel grow. Okay, so if you're new to my channel and you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell where you will be notified each time I upload something. Okay, and also check out in the description box below, there's a link there to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for people who only want to know maybe one or two things about their chart. But if you would like to have your chart done or other astrological services, there's a link there to my website where you can get more information on that. And also check out my monthly forecast. Okay, so whoever's up next, this is just my, my intro for all of the videos. Okay. So for Pisces, okay, on Thursday, March 17th, Mercury in Pisces in your first house, sextiles Uranus, transiting in your third house of Taurus. And on Friday, March 18th, the Sun in Pisces in your first house, sextiles Pluto, transiting in your 11th house of Capricorn. So we've got very nice sextiles to your 3rd and 11th house. Both of these are very sociable houses, internet houses, I would have to say, especially for your 11th house of it being your most sociable house in your chart. But 3rd house is definitely an internet house, okay, and big communication and travel. But right now I'd have to say the sextile to Uranus in your 3rd house is from you, okay, it's from Mercury in your first house. Just means that you're having possibly a chance conversation with someone. It could be in your neighborhood, okay, that's what 3rd house is everyday life and the people that you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day, okay, such as your neighbors, but it's also your siblings and your cousins, anyone actually, but these are the most prominent people at that time, right? So you could, just find out news by accident, just by talking to someone, possibly when you're, I don't know, grocery shopping or something like that. And it seems to be good news, something that you would like to hear. You could also, 3rd house is also regular postal mail, any kind of communication, but it's like cell phone, email, voicemail, text message, and regular postal mail. So you could, get something in the mail on this day that is a little bit different or just something you weren't expecting. But, it's something that kind of makes you remember the day. Oh, this is the day that I received whatever, okay? The next day, when the Sun in your first house sextiles Pluto in your 11th house of your friends, okay, your friends and any kind of organization that you belong to and where you normally go to hang out, and it is socializing in person, but it's also on social media. So it seems that whatever you're doing or saying, actually, at this time, you're influencing your group of friends, or if you do belong to an organization, you're influencing them in some way or other, by your words, more than likely, I would have to say. So that's really nice, you know, where you are, and if you're not even out to do something like that, something that you post online at this time could really, again, influence someone in some way or other, but in a good way. A good way, okay? On Saturday, March 19th, Venus in Aquarius in your 12th house squares Uranus transiting in your 3rd house of Taurus. And this isn't bad at all. Any aspect from Venus or even Jupiter is never bad. Okay, no matter what the aspect is, having Venus in your 12th house, you know, sometimes indicates like a secret romance possibly going on, or a crush or something or other that maybe you could find out about at this time. You know, it could be, you could find out on social media. Somebody could even just like hit on you or whatever, or send you some kind of message that's a little different, kind of surprising. You weren't expecting it. But this could also be a time, too, that, you know, your 12th house is your house of solitude, and it's your me time, you know, and having Venus here, maybe you don't really even feel like being around, like, a lot of people or anything, you know, you just are like, taking it easy and maybe even indulging in stuff, even if it's just, like, food, you know. You're pampering yourself, and maybe you're just not really letting anybody know about it. You know, if people are asking you to do stuff, you know, or join them for, it could even be like for your birthday. Maybe you'll put them off a little bit longer. Whatever. Maybe you just don't feel like doing it. But, you know, this could be like, you know, many, many things, but I would have to go with the secret confession, maybe, or a secret that someone let you in on that is a little bit surprising. Okay. So for Virgo, on Thursday, March 17th, Mercury in Pisces in your 7th house sextiles Uranus transiting in your 9th house of Taurus. And on Friday, March 18th, the Sun in Pisces in your 7th house sextiles Pluto transiting in your 5th house of Capricorn. So, you know, this is every time this year, planets are in your opposite sign of Pisces in your 7th house of close relationships. So these sextiles really help those relationships right now. This is a close friend or a romantic partner or a business partner. The nice sextile from Mercury to your 9th house, where you have the planet Uranus right now, just kind of means that maybe you and your partner or your close friend or whatever see eye to eye on your outlook on the world, you know, your philosophy on life, because your 9th house is your opinions and your beliefs, your belief system, you know. So it looks like you're you have a really nice rapport going on there. You got a nice conversation going on, and you're even teaching each other about things, even about if you're from different cultures. You know, even if you were all, you know, both born like in the same country, maybe like in America being a big melting pot. You know, we're Americans, but we're, you know, different our origins, like our ancestors and whatever, are from different countries, okay? So we have different ethnic backgrounds, kind of, though we're Americans, right? So something like that. And this very nice sextile from the Sun in your 7th house to your 5th house of fun and romance and creativity even, you know. There could, you know, just be something going on here where you are, it could be collaborating with someone on something creative, you know, that's something that could be in the works there. But, you know, I'd have to say that this could be more friendship or romantic. It's just doing something with a friend that is fun. You know, you could even do something on this day that you learn from, you know, something different, something you never did before. You could try some new kind of sport, you know, or take up bowling and you've never bowled before, you know, just to do something a little bit different, that kind of like it makes the day, or even these 2 days in a row here, like a little more interesting than they normally are. Okay. And then on Saturday, March 19th, Venus in Aquarius in your 6th house squares Uranus, transiting in your 9th house of Taurus. And this is a very nice transit, though, too. You know, it does bring about a little bit of unusual activity, let's say, like when it comes to, you know, the 6th house is the workplace, your co-workers. Yeah, I'll leave it at that because it is many other things, but I'd have to say there could be a little bit of an attraction maybe coming from someone that you work with, that you weren't expecting, you know, or you could even just discover that there is someone that you do work with that you have an awful lot in common with. You do come from the same background, or you do have the same educational background even. You know, there's a subject that you are, you know, like you have an awful lot of information about. You're knowledgeable in this area, and so is this other person, and it's something very esoteric and unusual, and that's the attraction there. So it doesn't even have to be romantic. It's just that you and someone else possibly are very much into the same thing that is not like, it's not very common. It's not a very common subject. So for Capricorn, on Thursday, March 17th, Mercury in Pisces in your 3rd house, sextiles Uranus, transiting in your 5th house of Taurus. And on Friday, March 18th, the Sun in Pisces in your 3rd house, sextiles Pluto, transiting in your 1st house of Capricorn. So, you know, the Sun and Mercury in your 3rd house of big-time communication and travel, like short distance travel, overnight travel. I would have to say that the opportunity to do just that comes up on that Thursday, March 17th, with a very nice sextile from Mercury in your 3rd to your 5th house of fun and romance and entertainment of any kind, spontaneity, you know, when it comes to anything, actually. It's the house of children, you know. You may decide to go grab your kid from school and just take off somewhere. It could be anything, but I believe that if it isn't like a day trip or a road trip of some kind, that's an overnighter or a weekender or something like that, maybe it's a phone call or a little note that you send to someone, even if it's a text message, or you're also on the receiving end of something that could be like kind of, you know, romantic. I'd have to say it's romantic. With the sextile from the Sun in your 3rd house to your 1st house of Pluto, looks, you know, 3rd house again being communication and travel, big time, many other things. But I'd have to say here that you could be having any kind of conversation on this day with anyone. But 3rd house is like your neighbors, your local area, the people that you would normally encounter throughout your day. It's also the house of your siblings and your cousins. You could be, it's also the written word, okay? You could be writing or saying something that is very influential to some of these people, to anyone even. Even the internet is the 3rd house here. So you could post something at this time that influences an awful lot of people, because that's what Pluto does. It governs large groups of people. So if you had something to say that you really wanted people to hear and listen to, this would be the day to do something like that. On Saturday, March 19th, Venus in Aquarius in your 2nd house squares Uranus, transiting in your 5th house of Taurus. So aspects from Venus, no matter what they are never bad. Okay, it's just like Jupiter. They're never bad, really. The only thing here is, you know, the 2nd house is income, money. But having Venus here does attract that very thing to you. Okay, so I would have to say that you want to spend money on a good time. You know, fifth house where you have Uranus is just that. It's the house of fun, creativity, romance, speculation, anything. And in fact, you might speculate on this day, but not big. I don't think you'll do anything too big, but I do believe that on this day, you're willing to spend money on a good time, and why not, right? So, for Aries, on Monday, Thursday, Thursday, March 17th. Yeah, that's when the first aspect begins. Okay, sorry. Mercury in Pisces in your 12th house sextiles Uranus transiting in your second house of Taurus. And on Friday, March 18th, the Sun in Pisces in your 12th house sextiles Pluto transiting in your 10th house of career. So obviously you have the Sun and Mercury in your 12th house of secrets, confidences, behind the scenes actions by you or someone else, but in your case I'm going to have to say it's you. And Mercury sextiling Uranus in your second house of income, money, wanting to bring in money from work, the kind of work that you do, and the next day having the Sun in your 12th house sextile Pluto in your 10th house of your career and your professional status and actually personal status also, but how you're known to the public, okay, by reputation. You're doing something behind the scenes. You must be chatting someone up, I would have to say, simply for the fact that on Saturday, March 19th, Venus is in your 11th house of close friends. So not really close friends, sorry. Friends and associates, okay? It's a big house of socializing, but it's also social media. It is socializing in person, though, and it's a little bit of networking going on here with possibly chatting someone up, you know. I mean, it's not like you have mercenary tendencies. I'm sure you really like this person, but they could be someone that's in a position to really help you move forward or move up in some way or other, even if it's in personal status, you know, just like hanging out with them maybe, you know, put you in good graces, you know, in a good light in the public eye and stuff like that. But the whole point here is to bring in more money or enhance your ability to bring in more income. So I believe that that's what you're doing right now. You're doing it behind the scenes with that Sun and Mercury in your 12th house. Possibly making some kind of future deal, you know, future whatever opportunity for yourself that's coming up, and you know the Sun and everything will be moving into your well, they do actually on the 20th. The Sun moves into your first house, so whatever it is that you're willing and dealing now will really start to take shape then.